this tool is going to save you a ton of time. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a global medtech entrepreneur and also a dad of 4 kids, and I do content creation. And I want to show you how I keep my head sane or straight, my thoughts straight with all of this. So welcome to your weekly one-on-one with the Pretentious Engineer, where I answer some of the internet's most challenging questions. Today, I want to bring you into how I approach project management using Agile and Sprint methodology. And this is kind of our week 2 sprint review as I transition from Johnson & Johnson and start my own ventures. So let's get to work. So I'm just going to hop in here for a quick tour. If you're new to this series, when I approach any kind of project or any task I need to do, I have a template. And this template contains 4 main objects. The first is just the context, like what is the task, why does it matter, or why it's important. What happens if it waits is super helpful for discerning which things stop and go. And then finally, time required. And then if there's anything I need to add to it, then I would embed a checklist with multiple tasks. So to show like a very quick example, I've been working on building a table for our family. And I can add different labels, like this is for life and family, life and project, life and urgent. It will create a more functional command center in our home. Right now, it's kind of pushed up against a wall and it's not complete. And why it's important right now, we're paying for parking. So it'll allow us to get our garage back, which would be great. And if it waits, it just costs us more money and time and effort. And it only gets hotter in the summer. And then I have a checklist of everything that's here. So what we're going to do first is look through everything I did last week. Technically, it's Wednesday, so it's like a week plus a day or two. And then we'll go and figure out which items are most important for this coming week. So looking at done, we're able to order shorts, very important for me. Not like YouTube shorts, I physically needed to order shorts. So yes, I put life things on here. I've been doing this task for Tokyo Startup Warm Network and J&J Warm Network, where I'm trying to connect with potential leads for the future for different services that I'll be selling as I enter the startup space, but also the consulting and content creation spaces. And then I also put out 7 short form videos. We got around 120,000 views across TikTok and YouTube, so pretty solid engagement there. And I made this huge whiteboard of like our funnel or master plan for where we're going with all of our businesses and how everything's interconnected. And that'll show up in content down the road as well. And we did 1 long form video, which was the week 1 sprint review. We're on week 2 sprint review. So things that are in progress, close out J&J completely is so darn close. My last day was almost 30 days ago or so. And I had a Japanese laptop and a US laptop. All of the Japanese laptop and all that stuff was turned in, credit cards canceled, everything zeroed out. But I still have a US PC that they're supposed to send me a box to ship it back to the US in. Box hasn't arrived, so my prior manager's still trying to get that sorted. So it's like painfully close. It's just so fun. Securing Japanese health insurance, we've made some progress on this. There's a number I need to call in order to have J&J give us this proof that I lost insurance so that we can get Japanese medical insurance. So that's a whole new world of moving from private insurance into Japanese medical. And then Felicia's been kicking butt on her mom bod journey. She took a weekend off, but she's tracking along pretty well. So I'm kind of her coach for fitness. And she's got a brain dump. She's working on getting credentialed for substitute teaching, closing that out. And then I've been reading through a book, $1 Million Weekend, to just kind of frame our entrepreneurial journey. I've read through chapter 1. Oh, and I finished chapter 2. So this just helps me get that little dopamine hit of like, good job, you read a book. And then what else is in progress? For Drew follow-ups, this is actually complete. There's someone that I connected with from my J&J Warm network, and he was able to connect. He's kind of looking for a new opportunity. I knew the person that was the hiring manager, so it's just that casual, like, hey, here's a good word for Drew. Drew's good people. I still need to update my application to the Shibuya Startup Organization. Basically, I'm founding a company in Shibuya that's focused on helping fathers become more present with their kids. More to come on that in the future. And there's an update to my deck I have to make in order for my application to progress. And that's becoming actually very important. So is there an urgent tag I can add to this? I've let it sit on backlog a little bit too long, which is always the tricky part with stuff like this, is just figuring out. Let's do life urgent. Reason being is visa status is connected to this. So it's a farther critical path, but we get burned pretty bad if it doesn't progress. Let's see what else was in to do. Pancake Fakasha edits. This is for Pancake Princess shorts. I haven't done any of the edits. One task here. Do we want to give ourselves some credit so we feel better? Let's add an item. Download all raw footage. It's a simple step, but it actually is very difficult with my Wi-Fi. So we've made some progress, but there's a lot more work to do. I meet with her next week. Build table, we got a lot done on this because our stain arrived. I have not cut the angle supports. I have not Craig jigged those, but I did polyacrylic and sand the tabletop, which was awesome. So if I can get these supports cut and sanded, then I should be able to assemble the tabletop, and then we could start to get to the middle of the project. But if I get through these couple stages by Sunday, we'll be in good shape. We're still trying to get a birth abroad record and passport for Akio. That's still important and needs to be kind of prioritized. Set them more than the table. And we still need to go through our financials. There's a lot of small tofu tasks, which is kind of like comes from one of my mentors was explaining this idea that you can't build a house on tofu. Like sometimes there's these foundational little things that you really got to get done. And we need to do those. So I'm going to bump these up a little bit because we're going to get burned by it if we keep ignoring it. Large garbage removals down there. And then for backlog, I actually accelerated some of these tasks. So I made a pitch deck for a company called Canva that I'm potentially going to partner with. We still haven't closed on that, but trying to provide value to someone in the Shibuya startup ecosystem, which is super cool. KV closing, haven't done that yet. I've been working on a video edit for reimagining my next, which I'm going to share to kind of my whole network. And there's these 3 assessments I need to build. So that's kind of what's next. So maybe next week I can work on that. So what we can start to do before we even prune through the backlog and organize it, our next sprint is going to run from 8-7 because today's Wednesday. And let's run it until Monday because it seems like Monday's when I'm trying to do these videos, even though it's Wednesday. So Monday will take us to the 12th. I'm trying to just consistently film life as it is. All right, so as we go through this now, first thing I want to do is check in progress and see if anything is still in progress or if we want to push it to backlog and prioritize. Close out J&J completely. I'm actually going to push to backlog because it's not on me. My assignment manager has to get back with where this box is. So I'm not going to make that something to complete right now. We'll keep Felicia stuff there. Book's still in progress. I don't know. Did I make a task for writing a book? Let me check. Nope, no, I don't. So one thing we've worked on that I should add is I've started. Let me check really quick. Book. No, I don't have a task for this. So one of the first tasks we'll create that I've started to make progress on is one-on-one with the Pretentious Engineer book. And actually roughed the whole thing, which was awesome. This is in progress. I'm going to try to make steady progress on it little by little. For context, getting published establishes me as a KPI, which if you've read the book is a key person of influence. So as I'm trying to get high ticket deals and consulting, if I could bring people into my mindset on how I approach one-on-ones and collaborative innovation, and I capture it in a book and self-publish it, it's actually an intro for sales is the plan with it. But I also want to make it a good book. Why is it important? Scalable, impact, for my community, helps engineers, entrepreneurs, and global leaders find their way, which is connected with a digital paid community I'm going to build. And writing clarifies verbal messaging. So if I take time to write a book, then I'll speak more clearly in video format, live sessions, keynotes, etc. What happens if it waits? I never do it. That's really what it turns into. Time required 100 hours. And then for checklist, let me save that. Checklist. A couple things that we have done. Rough main sections. That's done. Rough chapters. That's done. Draft intro. That's in progress. So that's where we've stopped. I won't capture all the steps associated with the book for now. But then labels, this fits under sales for school. For aFamilyFrenzy social, this fits under leads. It fits under networking. Show more labels. Fits under sales for the storytelling package we're working on. This would become an asset from a content perspective. It provides revenue. And it doesn't really lead into Papa yet. Okay. So there's a lot connected with this. But what's nice is like when I'm on trains, I can just crack away at it a little bit. So ship it. Is it somewhere where to go? One-on-one with the Pretentious Engineer book. Boom. Good progress made there. Securing Japanese health insurance is still in progress. This book's in progress. So this is the book I'm reading, the book I'm writing, which is fun. Let's see other things. Papa needs to be in to do. So I'm going to try to shuffle to do a little bit ruthlessly. I want to push these quick tasks up. A couple of them include like children's tuition and things like that. So I'll at least do the critical ones and then bump it lower. Pancake Princess is a main client I got to start chipping away at. Birth abroad is important. I'm going to put it below the table unless Felicia could pull this up. Financials are going to be pushed to backlog, which still scares me. Large garbage is backlog. All right, close out J&J's backlog. KV closing will not be a priority until next sprint. Reimagining my next is next sprint. Yep, because I can't do that step yet. But another task that I need to add is AFF social invoicing process. So one of the things I need to learn is how to do invoicing, because if I take on my first client, I need to be able to send them an invoice, get paid so that I can download some software. So I don't know, be a big boy and run my books appropriately. Like appropriately. Like pretend that I actually run a business. Oh my gosh, how do you spell it? Pain. Oh, it's worse. That looks run my books. There we go. Done. Why is it important? Efficiently invoice customers to get paid. What happens if it waits? I can't purchase software to service my clients. My first client, if things pan out well with them, would enable me to get the right software to serve them, but also get some of my stuff going, other people's things going. So that would be an awesome platform to unlock. Time required is probably like an hour. And we don't need a checklist for that. Labels. Hey, it's a simple one. Nice. So this is right here. Let's put this into do. Let's see how things keep getting bumped. This is the painful, awesome thing about sprint planning and agile is you have to face it and fight with it. I'm gonna bump it because the other task that's also been going on is close Canva. And I'm going to make a caveat. And Canva, if you're watching, this is how I manage my stuff or move on. Like it's kind of called like with you or without you energy. Like you desire to work with people and partner if it's possible. But in the event that things don't fit, you got to move on and jump to other stuff. But this would be like my second main client. It's also a great way to add value to Shibuya startup ecosystem, and I'll say help a friend. Reason being is like I've started to make legitimate friendships in the Shibuya startup ecosystem, and you see people that are having challenges and you have skill sets that could help, and then you try to figure out, can you provide a mutual exchange of value and compensate things appropriately? So like if it works, it would be really cool. What happens if it waits? Like lose focus. I either need to close and knock it out and execute or move to something else. And time required is probably like, I don't know, 3 more hours. Maybe there's a couple more conversations. Right now the ball's in their court. I've given them a proposal and a revised proposal, and then they can decide if they want to move forward. And if they move forward, then we'll have tasks on actually executing that work, similar to the Pancake Princess. And labels, this would be under show more labels. aFamilyFrenzy social. This is on leads and closing. So I'm trying to be able to track when I'm putting effort into connecting with someone, following a lead, and closing them versus when I'm doing execution of the work for the person I've closed. And I haven't found perfect balance with it because I'm new to this whole space and I have a team of me and my wife now. Like my wife's hopping in, which is awesome. We've never run a business together, so it's like a great learning for both of us. All right, so closing Kanban is also in progress. So I don't need to put that into do. It's progressing. I'll put it, it's important. It's important here. This is also very important. Some key tasks there. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. So close out J&J, KV closes next week is a focus. Reimagine my next, that's next week. This is actually dependent on this because I'll either get this software I need to finish out these sections myself, or I'll do a larger plan with Canva, like a business license. The Pancake contract needs to get pulled in. I meet with her next week. I could bump that. All right. We made a carousel template. We made multiple templates. Do you want to see? Do you want to see what we've been working on? I can show, right? This is my channel. I can do whatever I want. So let's go to Canva. You want to see what my wife has been doing? Well, actually, we've been working together. This is the wrong tab, friends. We need to go to the other Google that I have. Canva. Welcome to my world. So what I wanted to do, we have different sub-brands, and I wanted to pull them together with one color scheme so that they all fit together. So we have Japan Life, which Felicia remastered this logo, which I love it. Absolutely love it. We have Dad Bod, where I put a GoPro on my head, go running through Japan and make fitness accessible to folks who are heavier set, have pre-existing health conditions or prior sports injuries. And then one-on-one with the Pretentious Engineer, where we bring you into kind of the big brain club. And then prior to all this, we also have aFamilyFrenzy social, which is all my external brand management consulting. So we ended up finding this like blue color to unify all the themes. And what I've been working on, and this is before Felicia came in, for any videos that end up having like me just being a talking head, rather than it just being a full vertical video of me, I wanted to find a way to provide some depth and frame it and have the subtitles pop up and something else that catches eye. Originally, it was my little subscriber logos. And what I asked Felicia to do is to come in and kind of make these templates and reimagine them. And before we even got to that, we were also trying to figure out how to do carousel images for like LinkedIn posts that were clean and still branded. So now we have the one-on-one with the pretentious engineer. So anytime I have pictures or quotes connected with engineering, I can just do 5 of them and export it as a PDF, load that into LinkedIn, and then it creates like these nice pages you can flip through that bring people into different stories. And Felicia did a lot with the color schemes and frosting this, and it's amazing. I love it. You can provide critique or yay to it. Mainly yay. And then the Japan Life one has like a little minivan and a winding loopy path, which is exciting. And then the other one is the dad bod. Oh, these are past experiments. We went through like tons of revisions. We won't go through all these right now. Lots and lots of revisions. Where's the actual final cut? Dad bod. If I deleted it, I'm going to be so sad. Ah, this is it. This is so clean. This is my favorite one so far. Like, it just makes me excited to post pictures of like my running times, or I have a pair of shoes that where did I put it? I busted through the side of my shoes here. Look at this really quick. Like, I put so much mileage into these suckers that my fingers busted through the, well, my foot busted through the side. And when I was running, I was like, man, every time I step on a rock on the outside of my foot, it hurts so bad. And I couldn't understand what was wrong with my foot. Like, I thought I was injured, but my foot was literally pushing out the side and then just being stabbed by rocks on the trail. But I don't know how to get size 13 shoes in Japan. It's a huge problem. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, back to the desktop. So anyway, that's Canva. And we're also working on vertical templates for each of the videos as well to kind of have these videos pop. So Felicia's going to come back and kind of scrub these and clean them up based on where the logos and stuff landed. But it's been really fun collaborating with her. So where was it? That was in backlog, Canva, carousel. So we finished that task. 3 posts. We put that to backlog. I'm gonna archive this for now. Closet organization is in progress. Felicia's been kicking it at that. It's not done, so I'll put it low. Canvas shortcuts would be really cool to figure out. I'll keep it on backlog. 40 my next. I'm going to bring that closer to reimagining my next. So once I make this video for all my leads generation, then I need to actually directly send it to everyone I've connected with one-on-one or within my network to start to drive sales and engagement. I want to do a funnel for all merch content, personalized invites to join this book club. So I'm thinking about doing a book club as an intro event and do some backyard builds, refresh LinkedIn. This is definitely lower. That's like bottom. So the other thing that's fun with this is you can start to put stuff up that's more important. So closing KV is actually going to be very important. Closing J&J is still important, but it's not in my wheelhouse. Large garbage is lower. Contract should bump up, actually. This should be top of the backlog. And merch funnel, I would push up ahead of Canva. Personalized invites to the book club. This would follow reimagining my next, forwarding the video. Those are connected. These proposals can wait. Tricky is closed out. I did that. I ended up deciding not to move forward with a certain client just based on it being a poor timing fit based on my capabilities. This proposal is now set for, it's not August. Don't do that. I bumped it out to August 23rd. Down. And how to say goodbye to my school classes on backlog, but it's got a lot going on, so that'll be fun to build. All right, so tasks I have to add. I took some notes. The first thing I want to track in this sprint is I basically take this Tokyo Startup Warm Network. We're going to copy it. We're going to move it to in progress. We're going to put it at the top because this is all leads based. We're going to do the same thing with the startup. Not what I wanted to do. And the reason I'm just chatting through this is if you're starting a business and you're trying to do content and keep track of shape all the fog in your life, if you watch me do it, Maybe it'll help you do it. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out myself. But this is kind of my approach to project management. In progress, spot number 2. But it helps me kind of see what matters. So for warm network, we can delete all of these. These were all completed. Delete, delete, delete. And then for the Tokyo startup scene, what do we have until Monday? We have Kanba left. In the event we connect on Friday, we have Dr. Midoli, which would be a really cool client. Possibly more to come on that. We have Tokyo AI, AHR. And I'm going to note like community building. So it looks like I'm going to be a co-lead of the AI, hardware, and robotics subcommittee of Tokyo AI, which is like an ecosystem of 1,000 innovators. So I'll be curating different talks, probably keynoting at it. So that's really exciting. I think that's everyone through Monday of next week. Thinking of my calendar. Yep. So that one's good. And then for, oh shoot, did I copy Warm Network twice? Boo. Archive that. Now we want J&J Warm leads. We want to copy that. In progress. Second. Did something wrong. Oh, there it is. We met with all of them. So Amanda's good. Delete that. Alec, we met with. Delete that. Lauren's actually next week on Monday, I think. So we'll keep that. Johnson, we met with. Delete that. So we got 2 left for J&J. Let me check my notes. Corey, because Corey got bumped. Oh, I have Caesar. I forgot about Caesar. Caesar B. And I met with Demetrius already, so took care of that. My co-founder. And let me check what other notes I have. Leads. Oh, okay, cool. So I wanted to keep, there's a lot of leads I have to follow up with, people I've met at different networking things. And if you don't follow up, then you don't convert anyone. So let's make one for that. Create a task. And this is going to be leads from, I'm going to say sushi and longevity and Tokyo AI. And we're going to put this in to do. Let's create that card. Time required. Let's be diligent with this. This is going to take me about 5 hours. Maybe less. I'm trying to get faster at it. Context. Don't lose touch. And why it's important. So I don't lose touch. What happens if I wait? I lose touch. See how great that is? And then labels, this one connects to leads, basically. We'll keep it right there. I think that went probably down here, right? I'm going to push this a little hard. Oh, it keeps bumping out the Papa submissions. It's freaking me out. Oh, I got to get Pancake Princess moving. Okay, it has to wait, but at least I know it has to wait. Combat proposals already done. Shorts frames are done. Post frames are done. I just showed those. Thumbnail frames need to be done. So actually, shorts frame planning updates. Put that in to do. And this is going to be, let's move that up a little bit, maybe to 4, because Felicia's working on it. Context, unify branding across shorts and posts. Why it's important. Clear messaging. What happens if it waits? Standard of quality doesn't improve. Time required, it's going to take Felicia about 12 hours. She's been in a focus hole for ADHD. That's amazing and also kind of scary to behold. Because when she locks in, she really locks in. It's amazing. All right, so this will be under content video. Yeah, I don't have anything for branding, so that'll do. All right, and that puts that kind of in the middle, right? Shorts, frames, branding updates. Let's push this up above my leads. Felicia's been pushing this. She'd probably even argue in progress, but I'll put it up here. All right. Next one I have to do is post frames. Those are done, but thumbnail frames. This is an area where that'll be the next scope of work, is having all of our thumbnails connect into our short form color scheme as well as our posts. So it starts to feel more cohesive. Thumbnail templates, dad bod, one on one, and Japan life. And I'll put that in backlog for now. We'll see if she gets to it. Create card. Do you see how this is helpful? Because you want to do everything and you can't. So it helps you really process it. Unify branding across posts. It's across posts, shorts, I'm sleepy, and longs. Why it's important. Above. Time required, this one's probably 12 hours. And yeah, that one's good. That's backlog. It's probably at the bottom of backlog. I would push that up pretty high. KV closing. Yeah, bring it right there. The other thing that I just thought of that would be a big asset for Felicia is live thumbnail templates. And it's the same kind of deal, but just making sure that all of these things are cohesive, they feel connected. Cohesive branding and higher on lives. Let's skip all that. This one's probably 12 as well. All right. That one's going to be way down there. Let me see if I can pull that up next to it. Cool. And then, oh, the Japan Life logo, that got knocked out. Outline book, that got knocked out. Intro got knocked out. Oh, I can add to that, though. Should we pull up the book? Should I give you a sneak peek? Why not? One-on-one, the key to unlocking your next. So I have kind of these like roughed out sections, problems, and then these main parts. Basically, it talks about how to maximize, how to unleash your creativity and kind of grow and step out towards your next. So what I want to do is take each of these titles and at least bring them in for drafting. So let me scooch this over to the side so I can read it. 1 second. All right, go to my book. So if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? I don't know. So let's do draft chapter copy that. I think I have 9 total. Draft chapter 1, which is life's not fair. draft chapter 2, which is life, which is engineers don't do words. Y'all are like, wait, you're writing a book? I want to read this book. Don't worry, there'll be a wait list. It'll be worth it. Broken links. Chapter 3. No, chapter 4. Reframing one-on-ones. I wrote all this on a train. I was so proud of myself. This one I have to check if I can legally do this. Lord of the Flies. I haven't confirmed if book titles are copyrighted or if you're allowed to use them as a chapter title. If you know the answer or want to go on LegalZoom and tell me, that would be very helpful. Navigating constraints. Basically, I just brain dumped into all these chapters, so I gotta like go and piece this all together into a cohesive narrative. Network weaving. Boomerang. But everybody talks about the book they should write. I'm kind of committed to just doing it. And then the last one is ask. And then from there, I would say refine part 1, which is the door. And then refine part 2, which is the keyhole. Wait, is it the door or is it the next? Yeah, the key. Sorry, the key. That's my book. I should know, right? The last one. Refine part 3. Which is finding the next. And I think after doing all of that, draft, conclusion, refine, intro. And I think that gives me a pretty good flow, at least how my brain works with writing. And it breaks it into nice, meaty chunks. And the definition of draft could be, that could start unfolding. We'll see. All right. Are we done with sprint planning? Have we done everything? Anything else on this list? Book intro. Cool. Let's call some of this. That means you've clearly been working hard. Thank you for tracking with me. Here, let me use my fancy little ba-da-da-da. That's great. So thank you for tracking with me on this. One of the reasons I'm going to keep posting these weekly sprint reviews, and like they're called retrospectives, like what we did last week and what we're doing this week. First of all, it's for accountability, for me to just keep taking a jump and betting on myself, me and Felicia betting on ourselves, that we can provide value in all of these different contexts to you as members of our community and to others that you may never meet, but that we serve in the Tokyo startup scene. So part of it's the accountability to like be diligent and push things along, because we have to create our own structure and execute in order to actually generate profit, something we've never done on our own before, which is incredibly humbling and exciting. But the other part is, say we become crazy successful and aFamilyFrenzy blows up and we're, in six figures or more. A lot of times folks come into channels like that and they just think like, oh, look at this other YouTuber, this overnight success. Like, I've already made 1,700 videos over the last 4 years while doing grad school, while living in Japan, while raising kids and doing global leadership. So part of the reason for me is just to provide people like social proof. Not that I need to, but I think it helps when folks start to have these comparisons and assumptions that don't make sense. So either the judgment, even though I shouldn't care about how people judge me, or individuals that'll think they could just start posting videos and like all of a sudden have a financially viable community and channel. Whereas I really want to bring people into the diligence of our approach to how we're doing all these things. And who knows? Maybe I'll get to work with you. It'll be fun. All right, keep changing the world. That's the video for today. See you next week as we build a business together. All right, later.